andũ ametumi ndigi magũrũ nĩ ndamũgeithia rĩngĩ, tũtiĩrĩgaine na inyuĩ no ndocoka rĩngĩ kũmwĩra maũndũ ti moru gũkũ. Rĩrĩa tũrĩgaine kwaria ndamwĩrire tũhingĩre irio no kuma rũciũ nĩ tũkũhingũrĩrwo. Kĩrĩa gĩatũma njoke twaranĩrie nĩ tondũ arĩa magĩrĩirwo gũkorwo magĩtũhe ũhoro ndĩramona mena maũndũ maingĩ mareka, me busy mũno. Ndamona me Kĩambaa magĩka campaigns cia politics cia siasa, arĩa angĩ nao me State House makĩheo kĩrĩa kĩenyũrana gũkũ. No ithuĩ tondũ twĩna bata na mĩoyo itũ rĩ, twĩtane ndundu twaranĩrie nĩgetha tũteithanie mũndũ na ũrĩa ũngĩ nĩgetha tũhote gũtũũra muoyo, tondũ njĩra ya gũikara gũkũ thĩ ĩno twaheirwo nĩ Ngai nĩ ũgĩ, no ya gũkinya matu-inĩ ti gũkĩrũmĩrĩra gatũrũme. Kĩrĩkanĩro kiugaga andũ moraga nĩ kwaga ũgĩ, na no nginya tũikare twĩna ũgĩ nĩgetha tũtũũre muoyo, na Ngai nĩ athũrĩte irimũ, na nĩgetha mũndũ ohĩge rĩ, nĩ nginya ũgaikara ũkĩheagwo kĩrĩra mũkaranĩria. Rĩu cuma ĩnoraga ĩngĩ, na nĩgetha cuma cinorane no nginya hakorwo na cuma ĩngĩ nyuma mũkũmĩkĩra. Ũmũthĩ njũkĩte na cuma ndĩrenda tũnorane nayo. Mũthuri ũmwe mũrata wakwa wa bũrũri wĩtagwo India, kũrĩa makoretwo magũmĩirwo mũno nĩ mũrimũ, gũkorwo ngĩaranĩria nake, ngwaria nake na rũthiomi rwa matumbĩ rĩrĩa andũ aingĩ metaga gĩthũngũ, njoke ngũtaũrĩre na rũthiomi rwa marigũ rũrũ tũraranĩria nawe. Nĩ cuma, reke tũnorane tũhĩge nĩgetha tũkona rũciũ. Welcome my friend.
Hello, Daniel.
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Good to be on your show.
Now, yeah, thank you so much. Mwiroreri, I'll be talking to my friend here. He's called Philip Sinji.
Hello, viewers.
I have known him for a long time now. And the reason why I'm talking to him is because he comes from a place, yani kũndũ kũgũmĩirwo mũno nĩ mũrimũ, a place that has been totally devastated by this disease. Nĩgetha tũthiĩ na mbere na kwĩmenyerera. Now, Sinji, tell me, what exactly happened in India? Because the last time we discussed, you told me that India has been able to curb the disease. What went wrong?
The main fact was about how the government and the policies was dictating the issues surrounding COVID and how COVID can be contained and how COVID can be managed well within the means that at the time when they had the first wave, they thought it's something that they can pretty much control within the facilities that was readily available. As everyone knows, like India has a really good system of hospital environment and really advanced medical procedures that happens a lot in our country.
I'll interpret to my people. Most of them know English, but I want to get even to those people who don't understand. Mũthuri wa twĩra bũrũri wa India nĩ ũkoragwo na mandagĩtarĩ marĩa me gatũ mũno, na nĩkĩo gĩatũmire thirikari ya India ĩgathũre kamba, tondũ nĩ yeciragia bũrũri wa India ona kĩng'ũki kĩngĩũka nĩ makũhota kũrũa nakĩo. So you said the government thought you had the best facilities to curb the disease.
We had the facilities, but they were taking it too lightly because they didn't want they started off with a flying start with a really massive national lockdown for nearly a month.
Okay.
And looking back, I think it's more politically connected because they just wanted to show to the public that because of the national lockdown, during those initial stage of the first wave of COVID, they were able to reduce the numbers compared with what was happening in other parts of Europe.
Aratwĩra atĩ mũno warĩ ũhoro wa ateti, tondũ ateti nĩ mageragia kuonania mbica-inĩ ya thĩ, makageria kuonania ta mahotete kũrũa na mũrimũ ũyũ mũkĩra kana gũkĩra mabũrũri ma Europe kana thĩ cia nanja iria ciakoretwo igũmĩirwo mũno hĩndĩ ĩyo. And then what happened?
So there was a common feeling amongst the people because of the way that the current political regime in India was addressing the COVID pandemic as something that can be well managed. And then there was all these state elections in many of the states, also turning, also coming around the corner. And then they started canvassing people to come in large multitudes to political meetings,
Political gatherings.
And there was no difference between the ruling or the opposition parties. Everyone was taking too much confidence that COVID is something that can be controlled, and a large political gathering wouldn't make much of a difference to the COVID.
Muthuri ũyũ he kaũndũ ahutia ndaigua ge ga bata mũno tondũ auga kĩrĩa kĩarehire thĩna nĩ atĩ ateti manjirie gwĩka campaign kiugo igua eta political gatherings manjirie gũthiĩ tondũ kwarĩ hĩndĩ ya siasa kwao makĩanjia gwĩtana mĩcemanio teno ndĩronire ĩtanĩtwo na gũkũ rũgũrũ andũ magetana tondũ nĩmonire mũrimũ ti mũingĩ makĩanjia gwĩtana mĩcemanio ya gĩsiasa hau nĩho rĩaringĩire nguo. So they started calling people for political gatherings.
Yeah. So the state that we belong to in India, which is called the state of Kerala.
The state of?
State of Kerala.
Kerala.
It's
Kerala.
It was
Kerala.
Kerala, yeah. It was one of those lowest rates of COVID cases when we take the whole country as a whole. That was our state was the lowest in terms of the numbers of people affected with COVID, because the measures taken by the government in terms of controlling the population and all the social distancing, a bit of lockdown here and there, they were managing it well. But as I said, elections were coming around the corner, and then they started to turn down the tables of what they were doing before.
Muthuri he kaũndũ ratinda agĩcokera akauga nĩ ũhoro wa politicians ateti ũrĩa manjirie gwĩtana mĩcemanio ya gĩsiasa na mũndũ wĩ matua aigue na mũndũ ũthikagĩrĩria athikĩrĩrie. Listen very well. Mĩcemanio ĩno tũretwo nĩ ĩrĩa ĩrehe thĩna. But do you think that there is a different strain that came to India that was not there before, and that is why things became so rampant and got so serious?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because the strain of COVID that was found eventually in various parts of India was not the actual strain for even which the vaccine was manufactured for.
Rĩu ndĩrenda ũthikĩrĩrie wega. Gĩtũmi kĩrĩa kĩratũma wone Kenya tũtatindĩkĩtwo nĩ mũrimũ nĩ tondũ mũrimũ ũyũ ndũracenjia gĩtukũ. India kĩrĩa matagũthĩtwo mũno nĩ tondũ mũrimũ ũcio ndwacenjetie gĩtukũ. Gũcenjia gĩtukũ ndĩramini gũcenjia mũhana waguo. Ũguo nĩguo marauga mutating. No rĩrĩa mũrimũ wacokire ũgĩcenjia gĩtukũ hau no hareheire thĩna na tũhoe Ngai mũno. Mũrimũ tondũ tũrĩ naguo ndũgacenjia gĩtukũ toguo wacenjirie India. India thaa ici nĩ kũu mararĩra kĩoro. So the strain changed, and that is what now messed up everything.
Yeah, so the World Health Organization has actually identified 5 or 6 different strains of COVID.
In India?
Not in India.
Or in the whole world?
Just globally.
Yeah, there was one in South Africa, one in the UK, one in India, yeah. So actually one here called Delta.
Yeah. So amongst all the different strains of COVID that is now known, the COVID strain that they recently found here in Melbourne is called the Delta variant, which is even more
contagious,
which is asymptomatic.
You don't show any symptoms.
It doesn't come up with symptoms, and it spreads quicker than the other versions that we have seen in other parts of the world.
Gũkũ tũrarĩ na mũrimũ ũcio ũraikarire wiki igĩrĩ no gũkũ ũgĩkinya ũguo nĩ ũracenjetie gĩtukũ ũgakorwo ndũronania dalili cia mũrimũ ũcio icio ũraigua it's not showing symptoms ndũronania asymptomatic ndũronania dalili wĩ sawa no nĩ ũragwatia andũ na wĩ sawa piũ na ndũrahaya ndũrathimũra but you are still infecting other people nĩ ũragwatia andũ arĩa. Now I don't want to take so much of your time. Tell me about the vaccine rollout in India. How are we coping with that?
Oh, it's a pretty sad state. I don't know how much the population is, but it is in billions and billions. And we have not even covered even 2% of the population.
Considering people have to take 2 doses.
Yes, we haven't even taken 2% of the population, but currently the vaccine rollout was for the elderly people over the 65 age group. So they haven't even given the doses. Talking about my state, even for my own mother, she has only had one dose of vaccine. She hasn't been able to get on to the second dose.
Do you know people who have died of the disease?
Um,
In your area, someone may be familiar to you?
there, there, there are a handful of people who have died of COVID, and not mentioning people who are elderly who get affected with COVID and pass out. The most hardest part was to see people in their early 30s, mid 30s, infected with COVID and then dying.
Muthuri atwira murimu uyu wacenjia gituko India uroraga andu nginya anyinyi barubaru imwana mbeu njithe kuma miaka 15 nginya 40 gutire mundu ratigwo na tukoragia nake njira andu maremetwo nginya ni kuona ngu cia gucina andu tondu gucina andu macinagwo maraikio ruwi tondu ngu nithirite. So I understand people are being thrown in the river because what is happening? Is it that there are no places to bury them, or is it that there is no firewood, or what exactly is going on?
The scarcity of firewood is of a concern in those cultures where they burn the bodies.
Okay.
There's a real scarcity of firewood.
So they have burned people until they have exhausted all the firewood in the place.
There is a possibility of that.
Wow.
But people get when members of the family die in succession.
Yeah.
There's no one to actually come and
to bury them. Because if you have a family of 5, the firstborn died, secondborn died, the father died, and you're the last one remaining, then you don't have there is no one to bury you. So the neighbors will probably just discard you and we kuniko gwitawa gwakana andu makuite nginya gukarigithia mundu wakwa mukona takanungire hau nja hanyure mukamuikia ruya mweherere andu amuranga ndeto no ndirendethie na ethie muno. So do you think if people in India knew what they know now, they could have done things more different?
People are much more in my state. I can only talk from what's happening around my villages and in my state in general. There has been a lockdown for the last 4 weeks. People have been much more mindful of.
Yes.
The elections are over.
Yes.
People, the government is supporting people with weekly rations of essential groceries and.
So the government is giving people groceries.
And
was it doing that before, or it just started when things got bad?
They were doing it before as well.
Nona wega wa ri thirikari cia okiteno itu ya kamwana thirikari andu maikara mucii ya mahenyaga irio cia kuria no bado kuria na makuhea matetikira guikara mucii na tondu thirikari itu ndigitunengera ona ki ati tuikare miciire ni twibange rithu because our government will never give us subsidies, you know that. So it's upon you when we mwenyewe wihuge na umenye uria ureka na maundu maku. Now thank you so much Mr. Sinji. I'll not take so much of your time.
Thanks for
and I hope this one will reach as many people, and if you can be able to save at least, even if it's just one soul through this video, then we'll have done our job.
Of course, yeah.
Because as many people as we can be able to sensitize about the COVID, then the better for us.
So, like from our experience of living in this part of this world, there's no miracle in terms of how we can escape out of COVID.
Yes.
It's all about having social distancing practices.
Yes.
Wearing masks.
Yes.
Which is really important.
Yeah, true.
Don't take it lightly, and don't stress too much about it. Just be mindful about personal hygiene. Do proper regular cleaning of your hands.
Avoid gatherings.
Avoid gatherings, of course.
Because just one person needs to make a mistake, and all of you are in trouble.
And remember, the variant of COVID that comes up in our communities may be asymptomatic. And that's what we should be mindful of. We don't know what variant of COVID.
They are not coughing, they are not showing any symptoms.
Yes. Talking about from my own family now, I spoke with Daniel before that my wife's sister, who is in her early 30s, her husband, early 30s, their daughter actually got the COVID first. They live in a flat in a city, so they got the transmission probably from the air because they live in a flat, and people still are closing their doors, keeping their windows, closed most of the time. So whatever measures that they can take in terms of not contracting the disease, still they got the COVID. And this kid of theirs, she's like 11 years old, and she had the symptoms of COVID. And it's been 2 weeks now. They have come out of that COVID. They had high symptoms of a really bad viral fever.
Yes, full blown.
Yeah, but the kid's father didn't have any symptoms,
But he was still infected.
but he was COVID positive.
Ũgwati ũrĩa mũnene mũno ũroka nĩ tondũ kwĩ mũrimũ ũroka na gĩtukũ ũũ atĩ ndũramenyeka tondũ ũronania symptoms. I think I'll leave it there. Ngũmũtigĩra hau andũ aitũ. Na ngĩrĩkia ndĩmwĩre atĩrĩrĩ, ũgĩ ndwanjagia. Na nĩtũrahe ũhoro. Even my brother here nĩamwĩra ũhoro amũtarĩria. Ngũkwĩra atĩrĩrĩ, angorwo nĩndakũhe ũhoro na noiga ũhoro ũcio no wagũteithia na video ĩno nĩyagũteithia rĩ, ĩno nĩ cuma ya tũnora. Na wetwĩka cuma ũnore ĩrĩa ĩngĩ tondũ wĩ cuma njũgĩ. Tũma video ĩno kwĩ mũrataguo, mũtũmĩre, tũmĩra mũrataguo, tũmĩra mũrunaguo, share if you can. Tondũ ũngĩhota kũhonokia mũndũ ũmwe, even one soul. If you can be able to save one soul, that is what I'm telling them, then this video will have served its purpose. Reke video ĩno yume kuma Kangĩ, maĩthiĩ Karure, ikũrũkĩte Mũgoiri, ingĩre Mũrang'a, ĩthiĩ Maragwa, ingĩre Kĩharo gwitũ, ingĩre Gaturi. Yambatie ũguo na ĩngĩgĩkinya Kĩambu nĩ wega. Twĩthare, tondũ ateti aitũ matigũtũthara. Na mwetwo mĩcemanio ya siasa, ikara gwaku mũciĩ. Acio marethera nda ciao, ithuĩ tũretha gũtũũra muoyo. God bless you so much. Ngai mũrathime mũno, and have a good day. How do you say God bless you in your language?
Daivam anugrahikate.
Deivam anugrahikate.
Daivam anugrahikate.
Deivan anugrahikate. God bless you so much. Take care.
care.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.